What's up guys, my name is Ben. Welcome to the first video of my channel, Raze PS5. In this video I'm going to tell you everything you need to know before buying a TV for next gen. If like me you're rocking a relic from 2010, then it's definitely time to upgrade to something that can fully utilise the hardware of your new console. Stick around to the end of this video to see a sneaky peek between my TV from 2010 and 2020. Now I've got some top picks of TVs for different budgets, but before that I'm going to define a few common terms used by TV manufacturers. First off, every TV I'm going to recommend is going to be high dynamic range. This means it's got a higher colour gamma and noise reduction, which is going to help keep the image looking nice and crisp at such enormous resolutions. Next, HDMI 2.0 and 2.1. HDMI 2.0 can support 18 gigabits per second through the cable at any one time, which can support 4K at 60 Hz or 8K at 30 Hz. HDMI 2.1, however, which the PS5 is going to support, and some selected TVs, HDMI 2.1 can support 48 gigabits of data through the cable at any one time. That can support 4K at 120 Hz and 8K at 60 Hz. And all HDMI 2.1 TVs will support variable refresh rate or VRR and auto low latency mode or ALLM as standard. Now every TV has an input lag. This is the time between you pressing a button on your controller and seeing the response on the TV. When you put your TV in game mode, this input lag is typically less than 35 milliseconds. An input lag of less than 10 milliseconds is excellent, and that's the kind of thing you're going to want if you're playing a lot of PvP like Fortnite and Call of Duty. Next up, the type of display a TV can have. Every modern TV is an LCD display with an LED backlight. That can be an edge-lit backlight where there's LEDs around the edge of the screen. These usually have poor contrast and blooming where the blacks aren't very black. They've got like a white cloudiness about them. Direct lit LEDs. An LED covers all of the back of the screen, however it can't dim. So again, the blacks aren't very black and the whites are very good though. Some of the best TVs have what's called a full array. This is local dimming across all of the backlight. Next up, I'm going to explain the difference between LED, QLED and OLED TVs. An LED TV is just, as I said before, an LCD screen with an LED backlight. A QLED is the exact same setup, but there's a quantum dot filter between the LCD and the LED backlight, and this helps the TV make really vibrant blues, greens and reds. An OLED is something completely different. Instead of an LCD, each individual pixel is its own LED that can be switched on or off, and it's its own light source. This means there's much deeper blacks, the best contrast you can get, and these TVs are typically thinner than most. It should be noted that OLED screens can suffer from burn-in, unlike their QLED counterparts. I've got a list of 10 TVs suitable for the PS5. Up first, the best TVs under £500. Coming in at number 10, we've got the Panasonic HX580 at 55 inches as an input lag of less than 30 seconds. HDMI 2.0, it's LED edge-lit with local dimming, capable of 60 Hz. And at £499. Coming in at number 9, we've got the Samsung TU8000, 55 inches with an input lag of 9.7 milliseconds. It's HDMI 2.0 with an edge-lit LED capable of 60 Hz, and it's £429. The manufacturer's page also mentioned that the gaming mode had reduced motion blur, which none others did. They might incorporate it, but none of the manufacturers stated that they did so. And at number 8, we've got the Hisense AE7000, 50 inches with an input lag of less than 20 milliseconds. It's HDMI 2.0 with a direct lit LED capable of 60 Hz, and it's £429. At number 7, we've got the LG UN74, 50 inches with an input lag of 10.8 milliseconds, HDMI 2.0, a direct lit LED capable of 60 Hz, and it's the only TV under £500 to incorporate ALLM. Coming in at number 6, the best TV under £500, the Sony XG70 2019 edition, 49 inches, I couldn't actually find the input lag, but research states that it will be under 30 milliseconds. It's HDMI 2.0. It includes Sony's triluminous technology, which makes it a QLED. It's got edge lighting with local dimming capable of 60 frames per second, and you can pick this up for £479. The next three TVs I'm going to recommend are all under £1,000. Coming in at number 5, we've got the Sony XH81, 49 inches with an input lag of 9.4 milliseconds, HDMI 2.0, QLED with edge-lit local dimming capable of 60 FPS, and it's £649 right now. Coming in at number 4, we've got the Samsung Q80T at 55 inches with an input lag of 10.1 milliseconds. This one's HDMI 2.1. It's a QLED with a full array capable of 120 Hz, incorporates VRR and ALLM, and it's £899. And the best TV at under £1,000 at number 3 is the Sony XH90 55 inch. It's got an input lag of 7.1 milliseconds. It's HDMI 2.1. It's a QLED with a full array and capable of 120 Hz that incorporates VRR and ALLM. And you can now pick this up at $899, and it was previously $12.99. The XH90 is the TV that I intend to get, as I prefer brighter games over better contrast. The next two TVs I'm going to recommend are going to be over £1,000, and they're the only OLED options that I'm going to recommend. At number 2, we've got the LG BX 55 inch. It's got an input lag of 14.8 milliseconds. It's HDMI 2.1. OLEDs are self-lit, capable of 120 Hz. It's got VRR and ALLM, and this one's £1,099 at the moment. And the number 1 TV at over £1,000 is the LG CX 55 inch. It's got an input lag of 13 milliseconds. It's HDMI 2.1. Again, it's self-lit, capable of 120 Hz, and incorporates VRR and ALLM. At the moment, it's £13.99. The reason this TV is a little bit more expensive, the specs are very similar to the BX, but the CX has a better processor. And that's it. I just want to add a little side note that having a TV with HDMI 2.1 is by no means essential for the PS5. It's just something nice to have. If you're an avid player of online FPS, then playing at 120 Hz will halve the input lag, so that could be an advantage there. But the human eye, the frame rate of our eyes is just too slow to see the difference between 60 and 120 FPS. Difference between 30 and 60 we can see, but not 60 and 120. To see that, you have to use slow-mo to catch the difference, and that's it. But it will be really nice to have. VRR will be nice to have. It'll only really be necessary for 120 because even Sony has said they're focusing at getting a really good 60 on all the games for the PS5. So HDMI 2.1, 120 frames per second. It's a really nice bell and whistle, but that's it. And lastly, the little treat that I've promised. I've got a little screenshot from the opening scene of Mass Effect Andromeda. This first one is of the TV that I had from 2010. I've had it for many, many years, like 4 or 5 years. Nothing too special. I thought it looked great when Mass Effect Andromeda came out. But now I left my PS4 plugged in, and I plugged in the new telly. I actually got a Sony XH95. Had a little blunder there. That doesn't have HDMI 2.1. I got the wrong one, so be careful of that. Don't do that. But here we go. Look at the difference. Got the two side by side. An enormous difference in the color, the contrast, the brightness, everything. And that is it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. Hopefully you did. If you want to see more great content from me, hit the subscribe button with bell notifications to see when I upload. I'll be uploading a video on the 19th about unboxing my PS5 and setting it up, and I'm going to do a buying guide for all the accessories next as well. Thank you so much. Goodbye.